Yes, my people. Yes, my people. We're back. We're back. It's a transfer daily special. Look at this star-studded cast we got. Let's get straight to it. What's going on? What's going on? What's going on? Whew. It's transfer special. We had done one all weekend, so we thought we'd bring a plethora of hosts today. Canners, how you keeping?
I'm struggling, bro. I'm struggling, but I'm all right. I'm all right.
Ye of little faith, my friend. Yeah,
it's not even about faith, man. It's not even about faith. It's
buckle up and enjoy the ride, man.
Canners has seen this all too often, ain't you?
Listen, mate. The story is Groundhog Day. That's what is going on right now. But let's see if they can surprise me. But history kind of tells me that certain things may happen. Who knows, man? We got time. We got time.
There's still time. There's still definitely time. We also have back in the building for quite a while. We ain't seen you actually. How you keeping, Brezzy? It's nice to see you again, man.
Yeah, good to be back. Yeah, no, I'm very well, thank you. All positives on my side of things. See what happens on transfer day.
Good. And Gunner King is in the building somewhere, but he might have gone to the bathroom or something. I don't know. Here he is. He's back again. Hold on. I don't know. No, he's not back. Right, we're going to keep going. When he comes back, he's back properly. So yeah, it's your normal transfer daily, but with a little bit of a twist. We got, I say, a star-studded cast. We got Brezzy, we got Canners, myself, and hopefully Gunner King. He's here. Gunner King's here. Yeah, there he is. Yeah, man. You all good, Gunner?
All good, man.
Lovely. So yeah, it's obviously the football's kind of finished in terms of Premier League football. And now it's a week till the end of the transfer window. And Arsenal haven't done any businesses yet incoming-wise. A lot of outgoings, nothing coming in. First of all, we're going to get into the major target this year, Vlahovic. This is what's causing a lot of unrest. But before we do that, we're going to get to some comments. So you in the building, we got Nigerian Englishman, where y'all at. You should be on the stream, bruv. I don't know what you're talking. You should be on here. Green Screen Crew, check these lot. Y'all had a good Christmas in January. Sales were lit. Welcome back, Brezzy. Big up the panel. Big Dogs is in the building again. Arthur on loan is so underwhelming, but he'll take it. Ooh, underwhelming. Take him over number 34. Yeah, Brezzy, if you don't know,
these guys
we don't say
Barcelona. Did they watch him play at Barcelona to be saying that?
Obviously not. And Laka, how did you miss that chance yesterday? Yeah, you got answer to that.
No,
Laka.
listen, I knew these watchers were going to be spinning this on me, man. Seriously, I'm going to shave my beard. Stop looking at me for a bit, man.
Yeah, Brezzy's beard dwarfed yours now as well, so yours don't look impressive no more. So
the chance against Liverpool, the chance against Burnley, bro, man, what's going on? The Liverpool chance, the chance against Burnley yesterday. What's going on, man?
He needs to get them. He needs to put them minion boots back on. You remember the blue ones with the little minion on the side? So he needs to get them back out. But right, we're gonna get into the transfer story. So the main target, obviously, everyone knows this year has been Dusan Vlahovic. It seems like it's maybe coming to the end of the road. It looks like he won't be joining Arsenal. The latest talk is Juventus are ready in a bid to put in this year for cash plus a player. It looks like Kuleveski. To get Vlahovic this window. It seems like they're actively trying to sell. So, yeah, that's the one. It looks like they're actively trying to sell players. Aston Villa have been linked with Bentancur.
That's someone who we should be kind of be looking at.
He's decent, to be fair.
That's someone we've had a very good look at when he was in our youth academy. Yeah, like he's gone from strength to strength, man.
Yeah, we didn't have
him.
Didn't we?
This is the Uruguayan.
Oh, I'm thinking of Benassa.
You thinking the 18 man one?
Yes. Yeah.
So yes, it's like you've back in running for Vlahovic. So do you think that's the end of the road for Arsenal Canners and the Vlahovic deal?
You know what?
The voice for men question, you know.
Yeah, I was gonna start like running the tune, boy. Flips in the
Yeah.
Boy, someone in my TikTok live is already, man. Big up Andy, man.
Oh my god. Yeah, it's.
Andy, we went one further, you know.
Baby. I'm going to put the little voice on it. Flower bitch. We've been calling you for some time.
Just put a montage of Vlahovic and just play this tune in the end. It's done, man. It's done.
Don't
Listen,
give my TikTok any ideas, man. Seriously.
listen. Do you know the thing that really annoys me about this, right? Is when Arteta come out and said, yeah, you know, Arsenal's still a big pool. Players still want to come here. And if they want to come here, cool. If you know we're going after someone and they don't want to come here, we won't pursue it. We'll go after another target. They've been trying to get this Vlahovic thing done since October. Now, everything points to the fact that Fiorentina accepted the bid. Blah yada yada yada. The guy don't want to come, man. He's flatly refused. If there was any kind of inkling that, you know, we was going to get him or something was going to happen or whatever, I think it would have been done already. The only last little smidgen of hope, is that everything's been agreed with the player, blah, blah, blah. But it's just the agent fees and all that kind of stuff. But in all honesty, I can't see this one happening. And I really do think, you never know, it wouldn't surprise me if this whole thing, all this stuff about him, you know, Fiorentina accepting a bid may not be true. I don't know. It might be some kind of ruse, whatever, to drive up the price with Juventus, whatever. And we've actually gone after someone else, i.e. Helsingør, Thomas Partey, where we just, boom, slap the money down, paid the release fee clause for Isak, done. Do you know what I mean? We may have been all this time trying to argue with Real Sociedad to drive down the price, trying to get, and you know, but everything points to Vlahovic. That's why nothing's coming out from his camp. I don't know.
I think there's two ways you got to look at it, right? I mean, what you said is, you know, we've been trying to get the deal done since October. A simple no will suffice. If he wasn't interested, he would just say no. Yeah, if he wasn't interested in hearing what we had to offer about us as a proposition, then he would have left us by the waistlines.
Conversely, if he was interested, he would talk to us.
Well, there has
if the bid was accepted. If the bid was accepted, he would talk to us, right?
Yeah, but there have been talks with his agent.
At least listen.
Well, yeah, I mean that's been the case.
Or at least have a conversation. Hi, how you doing?
Yeah, but you know how the game works, Canners. Yeah, if you speak to someone's agent, you're as good as speaking to the player. No one's speaking to the player until the end of the deal. Like when you're speaking to the agent, they are speaking on behalf of the player.
100% agree.
The agent being the mouthpiece
has his demands.
My point is, Canners, if there was no interest on his side in October, he would have said to his agent, "Don't even bother. I don't want to speak to Arsenal." Yeah. But
he hasn't. He hasn't been speaking to Arsenal.
Wait, for us to be where we are now, there is no way that we would be putting in a bid, having that accepted by the club, if there was not some conversation with his representatives that involved.
There's been no conversation. That's the thing.
No,
there's been no conversation.
What do you mean? He's spoken to his agent, so he's spoken to him.
He hasn't. The agents have done this.
Do you know
how Arteta again.
Do you know how bids work, right? Yeah. So
I know how bids work.
You speak to the agent. You speak to the agent. Yeah. You speak
no,
to
you
the
don't.
Agent.
You have
before
to.
You speak to the. You do. You speak to the agent. You sound out the interest.
Not officially. Not officially.
Then you go to the bid officially. It doesn't go the other way around. You don't
officially. It does go that way round. Officially, it goes club, then agent. But yes, it happens first. As you're saying,
the thing is, why is anyone going to waste their time putting a bid in if there is no interest?
Well, I don't. Let's put some.
That has no interest. Do you know what I'm saying? It doesn't work.
let's put a couple of bits in. So officially, I don't think there's been a bid being made. But what's happened is Arsenal have gone Fiorentina and said, how much would you accept for him? They've obviously said 70 mil. We come back with 50. And we've worked out the terms of the deal. So if we were to put a bid in, we know exactly how much it is that needs to be put in order to trigger, do you know what I mean, Fiorentina to say, right, you can officially have talks with him. Like Gunnar King saying, officially you shouldn't be talking to the player until a transfer bid's been accepted. However, we know agents nowadays, they will just go around and talk to clubs.
Of course, that happens.
There will definitely be some dialogue, because if everyone remembers, in October when we first was talking about Vlahovic, an agent or someone came out and said he won't be going to Arsenal. So if that's to happen, why are we still chasing him if we haven't had something positive since then to make us feel we might be able to get this over the line? It might just be a little something. It's obviously given Arta and Edu reason to believe they might be able to get this done. Brezzy, I'm going to bring you in. Hold on, Gunnar. Let me bring Brezzy in. Brezzy, what's your thoughts on this whole situation? Do you think it's what Canada's is saying? It's more of a smoke screen, or do you agree with more with Gunnar? We're actually actively trying to get this guy.
It's a very hard one. At the beginning, I thought it was something that they definitely wanted to go for, but after all the attempts and hearing all the different sources coming out saying terms have been agreed, fees have been agreed with Fiorentina, but it's the agent doesn't want the or arguing the fee with the agent's fees or Juventus. So it's a bit, no one really knows apart from obviously Vlahovic himself. It's something that obviously, Arsenal do need to get done. We do need a striker. If we get him, then great. I just think at the moment, if we're knocking on the door and they don't want to answer, then we need to turn our attention to someone else and quick. We've got 7 days. And that's going to go very, very quickly, especially in the transfer window.
Yeah, I like that. Yeah, you've put it together nicely. And again, I'm in the middle of what both of you are saying, or all three of you are saying, to be fair. I hear what Gunner's saying. There was some sort of positive vibe somewhere that made Arteta and Edu think we've got to go down this route. And I'm not even mad at it. Even if we don't get him and it goes to deadline day and we get someone else, I'm not mad at it, because actually we've targeted the right player, in my opinion. I think Vlahovic is the best of the rest.
Can I just say on that note, yeah, and I've been saying this, yeah. I said the same about Locatelli, right? When we were going in for him. And, I get it. Fans want players that want to join our club. I'm telling you, Santi Cazorla had no interest in joining Arsenal before he did. Yeah, same with Ozil. Had to be convinced. I am so happy, that someone didn't just say, we haven't got hope in hell of signing these guys. They're two legends of the Emirates era. Every club, no matter how big, Chelsea, United, Real Madrid, Barcelona, they all have transfers like this. Don't get it twisted, yeah? So this thing that we do with our egos, where we say, why are we going for this player? He's got no interest, yeah? I guarantee the biggest clubs in the world all have to swallow their pride and their ego to try and get the best players. What do you think? Do you think Haaland and Mbappe, when they go, they're not going to cause the same sort of furore, where United probably might go in thinking, when he's come out and said, realistically, I want to play in Spain. That's not going to stop the biggest English clubs in this country trying to bid for him, because he's that kind of caliber of player. So I get it. We want to be getting players that want to come to Arsenal, but equally, we need to be punching above our weight a bit. And I think you nutshelled this really well on the WhatsApp group earlier. Yeah, if we're going to get back to the top, then we have to try and attract as good a talent as we can get in every position as possible. And sometimes that's going to involve us trying to punch a bit above our weight. And if every time that we try and punch above our weight, we fail, when 5 years ago, we weren't even punching anywhere near above our weight to try and buy players, what would you rather? 5 years ago, when we were just taking the dregs off Chelsea, taking their rejects and just buying over the hill 30-year-olds, or where we are now, where we're going from a much higher quality of player, one of the best young players in Europe, where we're going to have to compete, where it's going to be difficult, where talks are going to drag out. If that gives you a chance of winning one of these battles every now and again, take it. Have your backup.
One thing I would say, I agree with what you're saying, Gunnar. I agree with what you're saying.
You know, like,
However,
I just think we overreact a bit by saying.
No, I don't think there's one thing that we have an issue right, and the thing is, you talk about Cazorla, you talk about Ozil, didn't want to come. Both of those players were signed by who?
Arsene Wenger,
right. No one. Tell me the pedigree that Arteta's got that makes you kind of think. You know what? He's got a caliber and he's got credentials to make a player grow. Blah 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 blah. Listen, Wenger did it.
Let me answer it.
You can answer it, but what I'm saying is that that's the Wenger. Right? Look, I'm not saying that.
I hear what you're saying. I hear what you're saying.
But a manager with certain kind of pedigree, right?
Yeah, he could attract different players.
Something. That's something. Because I'll tell you what, right now, if Antonio Conte was the manager for Arsenal, Vlahovic would be here now.
Yeah, probably, maybe.
Right?
I can't. I hear what you're saying.
No. Seriously.
We can say that, but then Frank Kessie's just turned down Tottenham to stay at AC Milan.
That's Frank Kessie, but I know that there's a lot of players in Italy. Right.
Yeah, Conte's a bit. Yeah.
But the thing is, right, what I'm saying is that that's the only thing what I would say. Yeah, I'll be kind of saying to myself, nah, I reckon Vlahovic is going to come. If it was someone with the credentials as a Wenger had, because the amount of players that he persuaded to come to Arsenal to believe in what he was doing and stuff and what he's done in the past, etc., etc. I think that's a major thing. And you're right.
But that also takes time, though, isn't it?
100% right. With what we was doing, we had no right to get the players like Cazorla or Ozil.
I'll tell you where the pool lies in our squad now for someone like Vlahovic is the young players. It's a young
but that's
squad.
not a big enough pool.
No, it's definitely the top. I think the top four is the big thing for him.
When you look at pool from a perspective,
I'm going to mute everyone. God, I'm not even being rude.
Wait.
One second, because this is going to turn into a club size.
No, wait. When you talk about stature from the perspective of a club size,
no, because we're going to do this tomorrow. We're going to.
When you're talking about stature from the perspective of you being a young player and needing minutes, and needing minutes when you're 21 years old, Haaland could have gone to Real Madrid from Salzburg straight to Real Madrid, and he could have ended up in the same treatment, that Jovic is getting now, who made a move at a similar age, because he made that big move too quickly. So when you're looking at a 21-year-old that wants to go to a big club, but not one where he's going to be on the bench and not get game time, you can't tell me Arsenal isn't one of those clubs that gives young players minutes, that doesn't bench them when they have one bad game or whatever.
But we're still not in a reckoning to get Vlahovic.
You can look at it through many different lenses. It's not just always stature, and history and current manager. For young players, it's like, all right, I might go to United, but are they playing young players like Arsenal or Chelsea? Or, there's that kind of element of the pause as well, if you see what I mean.
100%, and I get you. I think the big thing for Arsenal is top four. I think that's the sticking point. I think if he was top four, I don't think it leaves me a question of doubt. I get what you're saying about Arteta and Wenger. I do understand that Wenger did have a pool. Again, Wenger leaned on the French, kind of his knowledge of the French leagues to start with.
If Wenger wasn't there, we would never got Anelka. If Wenger wasn't there, we would never got Vieira.
Yeah, but however we did sign Bergkamp before Vieira arrived, and he's a bigger player at the time than Vieira was. I think Wenger's first bit was he knew the French leagues, so he was getting players that no one had heard of and bringing them in.
If Wenger wasn't there, we wouldn't have got Petit. Petit had chats with Tottenham, and then they famously paid for his taxi journey to Highbury, and we bought him because Wenger had that relationship with him already.
The fact is, we are where we are with the management team. Do you know what I mean? We can all sit and say, if we had this person, that person. And again, we had a more experienced manager who, yes, he didn't have as much power in the board as Arteta has now, but that didn't work. And the players we brought in under that regime with a Sven Mislintat, who was meant to be a guru, that didn't work at all. So again, I said, I think we've got to be grateful for the players we're looking at the moment. It's a lot better than what we've been looking at previously. However, we've got to be realistic where we are. Again, we haven't made Champions League since Granit Xhaka's arrived, and he's been here 6 seasons or something crazy like that.
16,
so that's not like it was it's not even like it was a one-off blip where became 6th place last year, but we've been Champions League solid for 4 years before that. We haven't been there for a long, long time. So yeah, we've got to be patient with it. But let's move on from Vlahovic because we can talk about this tomorrow in Gunslingers.
Right,
guys, make sure you check Gunslingers tomorrow. Go on, Brezzy, quickly.
Sorry, 2 things. I don't think any Arsenal fan will say that we're not happy with the caliber that we're going for, like Vlahovic. The problem is that how many times do you go in for a player before it gets to the point where it gets embarrassing for the club? Like,
forget
you
that.
can go in once, you can go in twice, you can go in 3 times, but if you go in, keep going 4, 5, 6 times, and he doesn't want to go, stop. Just look somewhere else because that player, no matter what money you put in.
But the thing is, this is how players negotiate these days. They don't no matter how good the first or the second offer is, they're going to sit there and draw a white line in the sand and see how much closer you're going to get to it. It's normal,
I agree with that. But Vlahovic will have if he wants to come, he'll give you a number.
Yeah. I do believe the agent's got to say, this is what Juve are offering. What are you going to offer? We would have then come back and said, this is what we're offering. Then they go back to Juve and say, Arsenal are going to offer this. Juventus are in a stronger position because they know he wants to stay in Italy. So they might say, actually, we're going to cap at 150. Arsenal do whatever you're doing. So then he's got a choice, either come Arsenal for 210 or whatever, or go Juve for 160. The fact that Juve are trying to ready a bid for this window makes me think, do they know that maybe he's saying, if you lot don't come, I'm going to go there? Because by the sound of it, Juve were happy to wait till summer or the year after, at the end of his contract, take him on a free. So why are they now being rushed in at the last minute to try and put a bid together? So
it's all muddy.
Definitely more to it. Definitely more to it. Fiorentina talking a lot as well, which makes me feel they want him to go to Arsenal because otherwise they would just keep quiet as well. But the
Fiorentina do not want to sell to Juventus at all.
Yeah,
they don't want to sell.
And if they do, all the words they're saying is, Juve want him, but we want the cash, and Arsenal are going to pay the cash. So that's now just telling Juve that you need to come with the money, otherwise it's not going to happen.
There's also a huge rivalry between the two clubs.
There's a lot going on. There's a lot going on with this transfer, and we'll probably be privy to it on deadline day. And with what Brezzy's saying, I understand what you're saying about it looks stupid going in this many times, but I don't think we've really gone in that many times. We've probably had initial talks with the agent. We've probably had a few talks with the club. We haven't really been knocked back as yet. It's just the paper talk, which is regurgitating a lot of it. So I understand what you're saying, but again, with the quality of this player, for me, do you go in as much as possible? You got to get this player over the line because he is.
Can you imagine? At the end of it, Vlahovic just says that at the Arsenal were always my first choice. I wanted to come. I've always wanted to play at Arsenal. And, could you?
Oh, we've had 2 players that have come out and said that.
They probably tell everyone he's an Arsenal fan.
And Sanchez both come out and said that Arsenal's their first choice, but we don't go anywhere near them.
Yeah.
Who knows, man? It's going to play out.
But right, we're going to move.
Thursday is going to be. So we'll know one way or the other, I believe.
I don't. I think it's going down to deadline day. I really do, because I think it all depends on Juve. I really do. I think if Juve can put something together, we then look at another target. If Juve don't, then we may go in heavy on deadline day.
It's the hope that kills you.
Hope in my heart. I've got a whole heap of hope in my heart. A whole heap. But right, we're gonna move on from this. I'm sure this is gonna rear its head again tomorrow, and it's gonna be me and Gunner tag team partnership. We're coming for the rest. Isn't that right, Gunner King? So,
bro, you want quality, you got to go to better lengths for it, man.
Tag.
It's the unfortunate reality. Do you know what I mean?
Nigerian Englishman saying, how many times can a girl ignore you and or tell you no before it starts qualifying as stalking? Free Vlahovic. He's not
all right, but to take that analogy and
we're going to deal with him.
Is he calling it rape? Is it rape?
On those ones, the ones that you eventually convince usually that you have to put a bit of legwork in for, usually it's for a reason, right?
Mm-hmm.
As opposed to just that last one at the back of the club at the end of the night, that's all been drawn out by all the mates and that. So it's just like,
you know what we are. We're
easy for a reason.
We're that guy where we're buying that girl drinks all night. We're buying that girl drinks all night, and then some man comes up and takes her.
With bigger muscles and a designer to follow. That's happened to me a few times. I'll be honest. Silver Fox is saying we're keeping him awake. James Wright saying he loves Isaac, but he's still very raw. We're going to get onto some of them targets tomorrow, probably. Boods is in the building. Boods. Yes, we're saying Boods. What is this, the apprentice board? He's looking at your badge. I think the agent would have given. Oh, sit down. Sorry. I think the agent would have given Arsenal a heads up. This is common practice behind the scenes, 100%. So this would be patient. There's no more. We got no more games now until the window's closed. So again, I get the rush to get players in.
Son now.
I don't know. Where is he?
He's
Gunnar
there.
King's official son. He's his official one as well. Official son.
This guy, man. Oh, this guy is like my funniest follower on TikTok, bro. I swear to God, this kid is so funny.
Yeah.
He's bad-minded.
Yeah, big up Jason. He's saying, hasn't the press of Fiorentina thrown him under the bus by publicly saying, that he ignored the agent are speaking to the club. Yeah, so again, he's not just ignoring Arsenal's calls. He's not even talking to Fiorentina. They're keeping their cards very, very close. Well, as far as but that was meant to be like agreed ages ago. So I think in the summer there was talk of if you were to come in from this, and they were happy with it. Yeah, gentlemen. So yeah, they're playing cards very close to the chest. So I said, time is all we can do. We can just wait and see, be patient. There's a lot of comments.
Should we buy him a few more drinks?
Got a spin test tomorrow. The Lizzie, Dad said they helped me after this live day. You got help. Right, we're gonna move on to let's go to the build. So not too sure how true the talk is, but it sounds like we've agreed an 18-month loan for Arthur MELO. So Brezzy, we haven't had you on here for a while. So what's your thoughts on Arthur MELO? You happy with the 18-month loan, or do you feel it's another one of them Ceballos, Cedric kind of loans, Dennis Suarez, one of those guys?
It's a very tough question to answer. It's in two parts. Well, I'm happy that we're going to get a midfielder, and hopefully he will come in and be an impact. The problem is that obviously with Xhaka keeps getting red cards and obviously costing us, players in that position. I think he can revive his career if it goes well. If it's a good loan, I'd be more happy with a short-term loan, just because obviously then we can assess, see how things go. And then if you like him, then we could buy him obviously in the summer. Was an 18 months. We're apparently recovering his full wage, which is more money in the books as well. It's in two parts. I think if we get it, we'll get it. And only him playing next to Party or Sambi, we'll see what happens. But I mean, at the moment, it's a good bit of business because we need the players coming in. So we're quite thin on the ground at the moment.
Yeah, and again, I'm not too sure how true the rumours were that Mourinho wanted Xhaka again in the end of this season. So for next season, he wants Xhaka. So again, the 18-month loan, if Xhaka was to leave, doesn't look as bad, because you still then go and get your main target of your Tillemans or your Gamares, and he then becomes third choice with Sambi as fourth choice. So it could end up being pretty decent long term if he adjusts. Gunnar, I know you're a big fan of Arthur MELO. What's your thoughts on it?
I thought look, the one that the Arthur MELO that was early on in his Barca career, like he was pretty decent, to be honest. Hasn't quite hit the heights at Juventus, but again, I don't understand why they keep bringing. They've got so many central midfielders that they weren't really committing to. I just think I don't really hold that against him. It is still a bit of a risk, and I do agree 100% with Brezzy. I really felt that 18 months is a bit of a risk, is a case of overextending. But look, he's got quality, he's Brazil international, and he's definitely, for me, I think probably in terms of the experience he's got there, probably could offer a lot to the younger players as well. So I would like us to get another midfielder, because he's coming on loan. He's not costing a fee. I think, can we go and get another midfielder to really belt and brace a top four push? I think he strikes me very much in the mold of being like a playmaker. I mean, I'd want Xhaka on the bench, like just the way he's getting sent off. And then just actually get another midfielder, and then that way you've kind of got 3 or 4 decent ones knocking around, that you know, in addition to Partey. Sambi, we know that, you know, he's probably not quite ready yet. And, you know, I don't think that's any smirch on his name. I think he's done commendably when he's played, but he's too young, you know, and I think maybe could he go and get some experience, maybe even send him out on loan to a championship club, bring in another midfielder. So you've got Xhaka, Partey, MELO, and the other guy that you brought in. Sambi comes back at the end of the season, fighting fit and ready to go. Obviously, then if MELO's not been a success, then at least Sambi's got game time and minutes, and he's kind of ready at the same time. You need to get me in the hot seat. Yeah. I know exactly what we need to be doing, man.
We'll take it.
That's exactly what I'll be doing. Yeah,
it's not
you
a
know,
bad
I
shout
mean,
actually with the Sambi loan suggestion.
I mean, if we're not getting Vlahovic, take, you know, split that money in half, spend half on a central midfielder, just over half. I mean, David's going to cost what, 40, 50 million?
You can go for Bruno.
Yeah, around that, I would say.
Bruno Gomes is going to be around the same, but he's going to want. Yeah, exactly. You know,
yeah,
so
I think it's a delicate situation. It's a delicate situation because, again, obviously going into the summer, you're going to need your striker, and that's where most of your money's going to go. So if you spunk that 40 mil in that midfielder this year, that is really going to limit the striker you can go for. Where's this music coming from? Is it just me who can hear that?
I can't hear nothing, bro.
What the hell? Oh, wait. No, I've got a tab open. That was mad. I don't know if anyone can hear that. That's crazy. Some real 60s Italian style music. I don't know what that was. But yeah. Canners, talk to us about Arthur MELO. Happy with the 18-month? I've just done a bit of research to see when his contract ended, and his contract's up, I think, 2024, but they got 1-year option after that. So
yeah, again, I think he had a 5-year contract when he signed, didn't he? I think he signed a 5-year contract in 2020. So the thing is, I would say is that they should put Arsenal should put in some kind of option to buy. I think, right? Because listen, for he's moved around quite well. I say okay, he's had 3 clubs, but he is still relatively young. And it has been disrupted by injury. And the thing is, in this 18-month loan, what if this guy elevates himself to what his potential shows that what he can become? What's going to happen is he's going to go back to Juventus, and we're going to be kind of out of a player that, you know, we've actually, you know, helped, you know, get back to some kind of form. That's the only thing that's why they either be a 6-month or maybe an 18-month with an option, not a mandated, mandate to buy, but an option to buy for, you know, with a certain fee. I think that might have been something that might have been a bit kind of to kind of protect ourselves in a sense. Listen, man, he's a player. I love him. He's a kind of, you know, Metzala style of player, box to box. His passing, his touch, his ability to get out of situations. Very, very decent player. An absolute. The only person I could say probably he can if he wants to, if he really wants to, be better than Partey. But that's the potential he has. So I'm if this happens and it gets kind of over the line, it's a positive for us. The only thing I would say though, why this hasn't come out yet and why it's not happened, is because we're helping and we're aiding Juventus if they're looking to get Vlahovic. If we take MELO now,
well, yeah, we are.
Juve. Do you know what I'm saying? So that's one thing which I might think, you know, why that's taking so long, because all the right signs are coming out, you know, in terms of the player wants to come. And fair enough, nobody knows the actual negotiations with the actual club. But they're saying one day I'm hearing that Juve say they want an 18-month loan, one, you know, whereas we want a 6-month, and another one saying that, Juve is saying that they're waiting to go, you know, to get a player in. But they're just trying to sell Bentancur to Aston Villa. So that can't be true. So there's a lot of noises, you know, what's coming out. And maybe the delay in this actually happening might be something to do with Vlahovic. Never know.
Yeah.
I don't want to say his name
Let's
anymore.
speculate.
But,
Yeah,
but you never know. I'm if it happens, I'm happy. Trust me.
Yeah.
I don't think there's anyone in our squad right now, apart from Partey, who can touch him.
Yeah, I hear you. The comments have been going off, by the way. I'm going to get to this one from Connor Fitzgerald. He's saying Potter for Arteta, Basuma for Xhaka, Guendouzi Saliba back, Ramirez for Onene, Lamptey for Chambers, Watkins and Isaac for Lacazette and Aubameyang. Then we would get back to glory. that does sound like a dream world. I have to be real. I do like Potter, but I'm happy with Arteta for now. Basuma
Do you know what the thing is, right?
I'll pay the transfer fee for that.
We only hear these. The only two times we've heard Arteta's name, being really quick, what his work being questioned, is the first 3 games of the season when we had a COVID crisis, when we had an injury crisis, when we had to play the champions of Europe and the champions of England, and we didn't score a goal or get any points. But now in January, when we've had to play recent champions of Europe in Liverpool, and you've had to play City, current champions of England. We've had AFCON and a COVID and an injury crisis.
And Nottingham Forest.
All right, we shouldn't have lost that game. But the other games, I think really.
Yeah. Again, everyone.
I get what you're saying.
100%. I just think we need to calm down a little.
I'm not too concerned about Arteta. What I am concerned about though is what we're doing. My thing is if you got a big transfer for these kind of guys, you want to be kind of doing the groundwork for them time ago. Okay, from September, October time. You know what's going to be happening. You can try and be proactive in the sense of what's going to happen. My problem is that I don't know, maybe all this has come up in December, and obviously was it November when the Aubameyang thing happened?
Abba was December.
Was it December?
Yeah.
Okay. I thought it was late November time, but okay, let's just say it's December. But as soon as that happens, and you know that he's not scoring, we're struggling for goals, even though we're putting teams to bed in December. But the problem is though, we're an injury away or suspension away of being really thin. They should have been doing that. I just think
I think that's
the frustration. I think that might be the frustration. Not with Arteta, but
if we had won against Burnley, and just say we beat Burnley and we beat Nottingham Forest, these questions wouldn't be happening. Again, I think the decisions come with the Maitland-Niles thing. Now, Maitland-Niles was never ever gonna take us to the next level. As much as I like Maitland, again, we needed better, but the fact we loaned him out, went into games short in midfield and then got beat. You can't see he's not accounting for Xhaka getting sent off.
But you do realise Jose Mourinho and Roma said if you don't loan him out now, we're gonna pull the plug.
Yeah, I can believe that.
So they made a now or never situation. So Arsenal are faced with: do we keep him on loan for these 1 or 2 games where this guy's gone to?
Well, he doesn't want to be. Yeah.
But when they come back, that squad
he's
issue that he's feeling not going to be there. So for the sake of 1 or 2 games, we've cost ourselves a transfer, an opportunity to get his wages off the bill and make space for the other players that we're trying to buy. So I totally agree with what you're saying. It does look prudish, loaning out players when your intention is to buy players, especially in that position. But you have to move with the times. If this is a player you've committed to getting rid of and you've struggled and there's not a great deal of interest, and then you've got a team there that have put a bid in, had accepted, agreed the terms, and they said, look, we want him now. It's either now or never. And then you've got the player, because they've said that to the player, then Ainsley Maitland-Niles has come back to Arsenal and been like, you better not mess that up.
And again, you had the agreement in place.
Then I'm a poison pill. I'm running around training, letting everyone know that you got in the way of me getting the move away from the club that I wanted. And then that ruins the whole harmony of the rest of the squad, because they're like, even though he's not wanted anymore, he did come from Hale End. He is a Hale End boy, and this is how you treat your Hale End boy, is it?
Yeah, no, definitely. Just get to this comment here. I like this one.
You've got to balance it out a bit more, I think people just go with why are we loaning out players? That of course Arteta isn't going to leave himself short. Like, no manager would do that. They're not stupid. They're not that stupid. Do you know what I mean?
Right now they're looking stupid.
But anyway,
it's looking silly, but the thing is, the reality is,
the thing is, we had enough to beat those two teams anyway.
Back and Xhaka's not suspended, as per the guy wasn't getting a look in. He had a good game against Watford, didn't get a look in again.
No,
I think he should have got more minutes.
Yeah,
but if the manager's not going to play him.
Yeah. I said it's just everything's hindsight. If we had beat Forest and beat Burnley, no one's even questioning Maitland-Niles and why he got loaned out. No one was angry when he went.
With King. You can't keep him there just for those 2 games. No. Doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, 100%.
It don't make any sense.
And again, it's that devil's advocate. It's again, if we got the results, no one's even looking at that decision to loan him out. But yeah, I like this comment. We was in for Lacazette for 3 or 4 windows. Yeah. I like this one. We was in for Lacazette for 3 or 4 windows and eventually got him. So yeah, these things do take. And again, he was odds on. He was odds on to go. He was odds on to go. Atletico Madrid that window as well, wasn't he? When we got him and it fell through, and then we ended up stealing him and taking him. So
Jadon Sancho, 2 summers in a row. That was like, look at the United fans, how much they were pining for him last summer. Didn't get him. Big club like Man United, the biggest in England, third biggest club in the world. They still had to fight tooth and nail for 2 summer windows.
But that was just between the clubs. That was just between the clubs.
There was a price. They knew they had a buyout clause. They already knew where Savage hasn't.
I think it's easier to deal with a club rather than it is with a player that doesn't want to join a particular club. If the player don't want to join that club, he'll dig his heels in. And nowadays the player holds all the trump cards right now, as Vlahovic is demonstrating right now. So with Sancho, he wanted to go United in those seasons, but United and Dortmund couldn't agree a fee. That was the major issue with that. I mean,
the thing is as well. I think what you're seeing though is if you look at the transfer activity across the league, people are saying, but Villa have done deals. Coutinho, no one else wanted to pay what Villa paid for him. No one wanted to take on his wages. No one wanted to take on the risk, given his injury and his form record. And no one wanted to pay the upfront cost that Villa did. So Villa went over the odds to pay people. There was interest in Coutinho, don't get me wrong, but the price that Barca were asking for was a price that a lot of teams weren't willing to pay. Whereas Aston Villa just came in and said, all right, there you go. They've done the same with Luka Dean, who spoke to Chelsea. Chelsea need cover at left back. They were like, are we really going to pay 25 million for cover at left back? When Chilwell comes back, he's probably going to be benched. And then
here's a question for you guys. Just a question, quick question.
I just want to say very quickly, people are singling out a club like Villa and being like, well, they've got these deals done. And it's like, without the context of what I've just said, which is they are going the additional mile that other clubs aren't going to go to sign those players. Of course, they'll get those deals done quickly.
Not really. Here's the question then. Who would you
the odds for it? So
in the world of football right now, who would you say has more pull as a manager, Gerrard or Arteta?
Gerrard.
Arteta.
You guys?
Gerrard.
I think Gerrard.
And that's why Coutinho would never have gone Villa if the guy before was in charge. I'm not gone Villa because Gerrard's there.
But do you know what? But
and that's the power of what a manager does.
But that's just him though. That is just Coutinho and Gerrard because of their relationship. There might be a different player.
Wait. Let
me finish. There might be a player. No, wait.
It's a bit of both.
But what I'm saying is Coutinho. So again, it could have been Lampard in that position. Say Coutinho might not have gone because it's Lampard. He hasn't got that affinity with Lampard. Coutinho played with Gerrard, so Coutinho is obviously going to say, "Do you know what? We had that relationship. Yeah, I will go and play for Gerrard." There might be someone in Spain who now would say, I would go with Arteta. Marvin Bartley's up in Scotland, and he said honestly, I've read all Arteta's books. I've studied the guy. Like, behind the scenes, we don't know what people feel for other people. So, yes, Coutinho has gone to Villa, and he would never gone to Villa unless Gerrard was there. But if we then talk about another players, for instance, Gabriel, he could have gone to Napoli, Man United, and Arsenal, and he chose Arteta and Arsenal.
But the
There
thing
might be
is,
players from Brazil. So again, it's just the players. But I understand what you're saying. There'll be some players who will take the pull of Gerrard, but there'll be people that go to Arteta. There'll be
in recruitment.
So for instance, just say someone like Sterling.
We do
just say someone like Sterling. Just say someone.
CV exercise, yeah, where you send a blind CV, yeah, which have the name on it, yeah. If you had a blind CV of Gerrard's accolades and Arteta's, an FA Cup and a Charity Shield is not the equivalent to winning the Scottish title without being beaten, and doing it for the first time with Rangers in a decade when Celtic were the dominant force. Do you see what I mean? Like, so
I'm not disputing what Gerrard's done, but if I was then a player, hold on, let me answer it then.
Wait, let me finish. I'm saying if you took away the association of the name of Gerrard, even if you just remove Gerrard, if you look at those achievements relative to each other, and you're going to be pulled by one, I'm going with Gerrard because of that. Do you see what I mean?
Yeah,
because of what
I understand that, but then on the flip side, if you now go deeper and say, right, what's your style of football? So, like you were saying earlier, what's the philosophy behind Gerrard? What's the philosophy behind Arteta? If I'm a 21-year-old who wants to break in, and I can see Arteta's bled all these youngsters, he doesn't care about getting rid of the older players to bring the youngsters through and give them a chance. Gerrard, on the flip side, we haven't seen it yet because we haven't seen Gerrard long enough. But if Gerrard now says, this is how I'm playing, this is my philosophy, I might say, actually, that's not the place for me. And that was your argument earlier when you were saying about a young player like Vlahovic actually might pick an Arsenal over Juventus because, well, we see it all on the time on Rising Ballers. They always have them questions. Would you go to Borussia Dortmund on $5,000 a week and start? Would you go to Reading on $2,000 a week and be the most important player? Would you go to Ajax or Barcelona 50,000 a week but you don't play? That's what you. I mean, I understand exactly what you lot are saying with Gerrard. Like, he's done amazing things in Scotland, and his career in general is a better career than Arteta. But equally, there's managers like Arsene Wenger who didn't really have a great footballing career. Mourinho didn't have a good footballing career and turned out to be some of the best managers. So sometimes,
but they had to work for their reputation to get that reputation. Right now, Gerrard is now attracting guys from Juventus.
Yeah. We see them transfer all the time. Do you know what I mean? I'm not even trying to dispel what he's done. Again, Arteta's drawn in Gabriel when you're talking Man United. Yeah, 100% he's got some goal. 100%.
What he achieved as a player, you know, like Conte.
I think that's more of the club
before Conte had won anything with Juventus. Like before Ancelotti, when these sick players make the transition to become a manager, before they've won anything, Conte was getting pulled because of what he has achieved as a player.
Yeah.
You see 100%. What I mean? So
some of the managers, their career.
When you add that weight to what I just said about what he's achieved as a manager relative to Arteta, I really can't see an argument where Arteta has more pull than Gerrard as a manager.
Time will tell. I do agree. I understand what you lot are saying, and I'm not disputing Gerrard's pull will be great. For me, the ex-player, the things he has done, and even the player he was, do you know what I mean? Same as there's been players that turn into managers. Again, look at Simeone, Enrique, them guys there. When they go back to their clubs, it's like, welcome home, do you know what I mean? And if you followed that team growing up, like, again, all of us lot of fans of English football, you would get the affinity with a Gerrard, same as a Rooney now, and obviously Lampard when he was at Chelsea. So, and again, for us, Arteta doesn't have that same feel. We don't have that feel for Arteta, but there might be players in La Masia who were saying, that's what I want to go and play my football. Because that's what I resonate with. We resonate with Gerrard because we grew up on that and we love that style. Someone else somewhere else might be thinking, actually, I want to play in a team where they let me express myself in this way and I haven't got to be as rigid. And that comes with time. Do you know what I mean? Don't know what Gerrard's real philosophy is going to be or whatever else. But I do feel, again, the Arteta thing, there is players who we thought who would have thought we would have got Partey after not being in Champions League for how long? No one would have thought. People laughed at us. Like,
they were all playing Champions League. They left Champions League football to come to us.
And that's it. Gabriel, when he had the choice of Napoli and Man United, and I don't care if it's Arsenal or not,
hadn't Lille qualified for the Champions League that season as well?
We've had to. Do you know what I mean? There has to be some conversation. Pepe was another one who a lot of teams are after. We put the money up, but again, they easily could have turned around and said no at the time. So I do think it plays its part. Like, I do think Coutinho was very much about Gerrard. Let's not ever get that twisted. I don't think he would have gone there. But however, and it's like James Rodriguez going Everton. with Ancelotti, and soon as Ancelotti bounced, he wants out. So we'll see. Time will tell. But right, guys, we've been on this stream. It's been some rehab. Guys in the comments, sorry we couldn't get to all of them. It's been absolutely amazing. Gunslingers tomorrow. We're going to continue this conversation. Like, it's not going to stop there. Obviously, the
delve that little
transfers
bit
are the
deeper.
big thing. Yeah. The panel's going to be wild. I think Nigerian's going to be on there. Gunnar, me and you are tag teaming anyway. We're coming for Nigerian and whoever wants to bring on, because I think me and you are we're on the same page. We're on the same
We are
page.
on the same page. Yeah.
Canners,
You know,
bring a black and white t-shirt. Referee tomorrow. Whistle.
Be holding man's
Brezzy.
off. You know what I mean?
Security, bring the security badge. I beg you, bring that for me, like, because it's gonna get wild in here. But now, guys, appreciate the love. Guys in the comments, thank you for tuning in. I know it got a bit very noisy in here, but this is what we do in the Armoury. We're all very passionate, and we all want what's best for Arsenal. We all want what's best, and that's the most important thing. So, yeah, on that note, guys, we're gonna wrap it up there.